Happy Friday. Welcome to Focus Today. Always a delight to have Tim Elbert in the house. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery here in Medford. And today we're going to be taking your questions about what you should be doing in the yard, or maybe you got some yard problems or yard challenges, or you're making some changes. And everybody that calls in, your name's going in the hat for a beautiful yarrow. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
This is one of the most prolific things I've ever seen. That little plant goes everywhere, right?
Well, they do spread out quite a bit, so
Yeah.
it's very nice that way. But you know, the nice thing is they love the heat.
Yeah.
They love the sunshine, the drier soils. They naturalize well. The deer don't bother them. So in those really, really tough areas to try to find something to plant, yarrow is a really, really good selection.
Does that get a little stickery?
No, no, not at all. It's a feathery, really nice feathery foliage. Of course, they come in lots of different colors. This one here is kind of a wine red with a lighter, fading out to almost a lavender color. Yeah. So a standard, definitely a beautiful example.
They go up and around and out, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they make great cut flowers too. You can use them cut inside. You can dry them, hang them upside down in a cool, dark area, and dry the flowers and use them dried. There's just a lot of uses for that.
All right, well, when you call in today, the local number is 541-776-5368, or toll free. If you're outside the immediate area, Tim will drive this to your house. So if you're living up and down the coast, Northern California, Klamath County, give him a buzz, or give us a buzz, toll free.
Strap it to the back of the motorcycle.
There we go.
Right,
he's looking for a ride. Anyway, toll free, 800-373-5368, and your name will go in the hat for this beautiful yarrow. Well, anyway, as we speak, we're getting some thunder and lightning out there and some rain reported around, and so we're in for some pretty bumpy rides today. But it has been exceptionally hot, and it's going to be very hot next week. We're talking triple digits from Monday through most of next week. Whew. Now, Steve asked a good question. Our plants dry out during the day.
Yes.
So should we water earlier, water more often? What do we do?
Well, the key, I think, is to give them the water when they need it. So morning watering is going to be your best time. You get that water down early before it starts to get hot, so you don't have as much evaporation. And then in the evening, it's less likely your plants are going to use that water at night. So less watering at night, more watering in the morning. So, you know, bump up those sprinklers a little bit, maybe the drip system, increase that watering slightly.
Run a well.
And yeah, the other thing is you don't want to water a lot more often, because we still want that top of that soil to dry out between the waterings, allowing those roots to go down deeper looking for water, and that's really, really important. Now, if you have fresh plants you've just planted, it's pretty impossible to do because those roots are still very shallow. But you want to, especially with your established stuff, allow that water to drain down and bring those roots down deeper.
All right, give us a call if you have any questions about what you want to be doing in your yard. The phone number is 776-5368, and your name will go in the hat for this beautiful yarrow. Or toll free outside the immediate area, 800-373-5368. Maybe it has to do with the lawn, bugs, transplanting something this time of the year, which I don't know if that's a good thing to do once it's hot. Maybe getting ready for some vegetables or whatever. Let us know, 776-5368. Everything just seems to be pretty well stressed with this heat, huh?
Yeah, things are starting to look a little heat stressed, and we have to remember that, you know, the plants are going to show some heat stress regardless, and that overwatering isn't the answer. So we've got to be careful. We're of course thinking about how dry it is out there, and so we want to water more, but heat stress is heat stress, not water stress, and so keep that in mind. Plants are going to show some signs of that. It's okay. You go out in the sunshine, you're going to get a sunburn. You know, you're gonna feel the effects of the heat, and you'll live through it. And your plants will too. So it's okay if they show a little heat stress, but just be watching so that you're not neglecting them.
On the lawn, should we be doing anything? Because I'm on a well, so I'm watching my lawn turn to a racetrack. I just can't add any more water. But you certainly don't want to fertilize in this heat, do you?
Yeah, you know, I would pass on feeding right now. You know, wait till we cool back down a little bit if you need to. I'm looking at my lawn where I have some sprinklers that stopped. My sprinklers moved back and forth. Yeah. Well, a couple of them that just stopped moving.
Yeah.
And so I have these big dry patches in my lawn, and you know, I'm looking at that going, guess what? You know, for the next month or so, it's just going to be that way because there's really no way to get that to recover very well right now. So fix the sprinklers and hope for the best.
All right. Let's take some calls. Hi, Denise.
Hi, I was wondering, is now the time to plant, you know, seeds for winter crops, or is it still a little early?
Oh, for vegetable gardening?
Yes, yes.
Yes, July is the time for that. If you're going from seed, your cole crops like your broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, that kind of thing, you can get that started from seed now, and you'll have a good start on that plant material before the cold weather hits. You should be able to harvest in fall. Oh,
okay. Well, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. All right, 776-5368 is the number, 776-5368. If you have any questions for Tim Elbert, and your name's going in the house hat for this beautiful yarrow. All right, Kathy, what's going on?
Well, I was given a beautiful little, it kind of looks like it might be a dwarf type of evergreen shrub, like a small tree. And beautiful little thing, and they're kind of pricey in the stores, like you guys would sell them at. I'm not sure what the variety is; it's not on the container, but it is nursery, a type of not just homegrown, and it really does need transplanting. It's struggling in the container, the 1 gallon that it's in, and it's about 3 feet tall. I do have a large clay. Container that I wanted to put it in that will give it lots of grow room for quite some time. And I did buy for evergreen and, you know, that type of plant potting mix.
Okay.
And it really needs to get moved. And just earlier on the show, it was mentioned this not being a great time of year because of the heat. But do you have any suggestions? I mean, I was going to do it in the evening of the day in the cool, and I did get the right type of mix to put it in. But I wondered if you had any other suggestions for making sure this thing doesn't die because it's a beautiful plant.
Yes. Well, you know, let's not confuse planting with transplanting. Transplanting would be if you were to take a plant and dig it out of the ground and move it. And that's not a good idea right now because you would be cutting the root system and reducing the plant's ability to take up moisture. And so right now, that's not a good idea. But a plant that's in a container can get planted into the ground or put into a larger container, and it would be just fine because you are not messing with the root system.
Yeah, I'd try to not disturb the roots any more than necessary.
Yeah. So my suggestion, take it out of the container, set it in some water, and allow that root ball to fully get completely full of water, and then get your potting soil. Make sure your potting soil is moist, and then replant that with that really wet root ball into that fresh potting soil in that new container. Pack that in firmly and water it in thoroughly, and you should have no trouble whatsoever.
Oh, good, because the plant's stress is staying in the small pot that it's in.
Yeah. You know, we actually, this time of year, we do a lot of that. We'll go through the nursery, we'll find things that are overgrown in their containers, and we'll get those out, put them into some larger pots. And we do that this time of year all the time. The key with that is making sure that, first of all, that root ball is wet, and second of all, that the potting soil it's going into is moist or wet.
Okay, and that would be, I also have a rhododendron that needs to get planted, and I figured that what was left over of the planting mix, I would mix into the ground for planting it, and it would be going from container into ground.
That would be fine. Yep.
Okay, super. Thanks, Tim.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Tim Elbert's with us today from Four Seasons Nursery, and we're taking your calls, and we'd love to hear from you. The phone number is 776-5368. That's the local number, area code 541. 776-5368, and then toll-free outside the immediate area, 800-373-2424. 5368. And your name's going to go in the hat when you call in, and somebody's going to win this beautiful yarrow. This one happens to be kind of a lavender, wine lavender color. It's beautiful. And you'll, how high will this get?
This one gets about 2 feet tall.
All right.
They'll spread about 3 feet wide. As you know, with your experience, they will continue even more than that over a period of time. There are several other varieties. We've got ones that are more yellow with kind of a silvery foliage. They're very pretty. And another one that's more of a strawberry color.
All right, give us a call. We'll take a quick break. We'll take your calls with Tim Elbert from Four Seasons Nursery.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back, and Tim Elbert's with us today and taking your phone calls about any questions you may have about gardening or issues in your yard. The phone number is area code 541-776-5368. And if you have any questions about what you should be doing or problems in your yard, he's the man. He's right here. And the phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. By the way, Tim, I was driving down, Peggy and I were driving down Pine Street there in Central Point, and your baskets this year are just exceptional.
Aren't they great?
They come down and they just cascade like this. They're just gorgeous.
They are absolutely beautiful. We have a new guy doing the watering this year. This is his first time doing it, and he's doing such a fabulous job. Steve Josephson is his name. So, if you see him out there, if you're out there in the wee hours of the early morning, late night, you see him out there, give him a honk and a wave. But he's just a great guy, and he's been taking really good care of those baskets.
They are gorgeous.
Yes, and and he's been doing it every single day. He's nonstop. Yes, and so he's going camping this week, so I'm taking over for him for the next 2 days.
Really?
So yeah, so if they go downhill, you'll know why.
All right, so you got them in Central Point. Where else do you have them?
Central Point and Eagle Point are the ones that we take care of.
Right.
Now down 99 in Central Point, those are all automatically watered, so we just do the feeding and spraying on those. And then Phoenix, Talent, and Rogue River have all done baskets this year.
Wow.
And so they are all taking care of their own baskets.
Wow.
It's beautiful to go into these towns and see these baskets around. It's just great.
All right, well, and they're all out at the Four Seasons Nursery. If you've never been out there, you go out Highway 62, you get off on Vilas Road and go up about a half mile, you'll see the nursery off to the right there, and just gorgeous. All right, let's take some more calls. We'd love to hear from you. Our phone number is 541-776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. And your name's going in the hat to win this beautiful yarrow. All right, hi Gail, what's going on?
Hi, I just wanted to ask Tim, I planted my very first watermelon plant this year, and it's doing really well. And I got about 3 little watermelons on there, and one of them is just growing like a weed. The other one's kind of standing still. The other one's not doing anything, and then the others aren't doing anything. So I wondered if I'm doing something wrong.
Well, watermelon like a lot of sunshine, so make sure they're getting sun all day long, and moist but well-drained soil. So make sure that that soil is draining well and is the top inch or so is drying out between waterings, and they should take off. Usually, when we see a watermelon or a squash or cucumber or something like that that isn't growing well, it's usually because those roots are staying too wet. So check that out and make sure that's not the case.
Oh, okay, because I was told watermelons wanted a lot of water, and I've been watering them every day.
Yeah, once they start to produce the watermelon fruit, then the watering increases because they're putting a lot of water into that fruit. So, you know, until then, though, as they establish, you know, just be a little bit more careful with that, and maybe they'll come out and start to grow more for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How come you didn't tell her to go out and hug them? You're supposed to hug your watermelons?
You're supposed to hug your watermelons. Okay, well, that's a new one for me. You guys all thought that I was the crazy one around here.
Okay, 22 minutes now. That's it. Well, he's getting to all of it. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
What's up?
Well, I had I had my backyard landscaped and roll-out lawn put in sod, and I also have 2 dogs that are making yellow spots, and I got some pills for my dog to knock that off. So, but how much should I water? Should I water a little morning and night, or more one time or the other time, and how deep should it be?
Okay, so how long ago did you put the lawn down, and did you put it green side up?
I didn't put it down, but the guy, my landscaper did.
Hopefully he wasn't colorblind. So.
No, it was raining at the time. He was sledging around out there as a dynamic lawn guy.
Yeah,
he's wonderful, but
yeah. So and how long ago was that?
Last fall.
Last fall. Okay, so you should be watering at the most once a day right now, and you know, and I try my hardest to tell people every other day watering for your lawn, but in some cases in this valley that's very hard to do and still have a decent looking lawn. So if you've got any kind of a slope or poor drainage, which is very common around here, you will have to water maybe more often, but you know, with less water. So if you're having to water on a daily basis, just do it once in the morning, and you should be fine. A newly planted lawn, you know, within the first couple of weeks, even the first month, may require more waterings through the day. But anything that is more than a month old really should only be getting once a day watering at the most.
Okay, because they told me to water morning and night, and I didn't know how much and when. You know,
if that soil is still moist the next morning before the sprinklers come on, then you are watering enough. If that, I do a little bit of a test, and I'll try to do this real quickly. But I take a screwdriver and a good pair of shoes, and I go out onto the lawn, and I take my screwdriver and I poke it down in the lawn. If I can get that screwdriver all the way down into the soil, then I've got enough moisture. If I can't get it all the way down in the soil, you know, of course, try different spots. You hit a rock, you kind of understand you're not going to get that screwdriver through the rock. But you know, try a few different spots, and if I can't get that screwdriver down in, and I need to increase my watering. And then my second little test is if I get the screwdriver down through just fine, then I'll take my good pair of shoes on my feet, and I'll step really nice and hard and press as hard as I can on that lawn. And if I get water coming up from around my shoe, I'm over watering, and I need to cut back on my watering. Okay? So that's how.
So it isn't a matter of how long.
Yeah.
I've heard it's better to water a lot more at one time. But
in the mornings.
They told me to water morning and night. So.
No, you shouldn't have to water at night, just mornings.
Okay,
yep.
Great.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Betty?
Yeah?
If none of that works, just call Tim. He'll come out with his little booties and test it for you.
That's right.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate it.
Hi, here I come. Okay, let's just move on here. Hi, Patsy. What's up?
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
I have a question about the hanging baskets. I've admired those for many years. I live in Central Point, and I wondered how much do they cost if I wanted to buy one when they first are ready to hang out?
Well, you know, the baskets range anywhere from $29.99 up to $139. So the ones you see in the city are our largest baskets, and those are $139 the first time you buy them because there's some hardware involved, etc. And then they are a little less after that, just under $100 usually. They're a huge basket. They're an 18-inch basket. They end up weighing 50 pounds or so when they're full and they've got water in them. So you want a nice sturdy place to hang something like that from. But you can do pre-orders in January and February, and that's the best time to order those. You get the best discounts and etc. then.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a
You too. And I tell you, they're gorgeous, folks. Those hanging baskets are gorgeous.
Yeah, you know, I would put them up against any other baskets anywhere.
And proudly so. I mean, I know the key is, though, when you water those things, if you're not careful, because they're in a basket, all the nourishment goes out. So you got to keep them fed too. Yeah,
you got to keep them fed. You got to keep the petunia budworms under control. Yeah. And there's a good natural, very safe material to use for that. That's what we use on that, the spinosad. You know, and of course, you know, when you're watering, you have to sing. So. Yeah. And so singing to them, and if they're not doing so good, well, then you might need singing lessons.
Well, there you go. All right, let's. You shouldn't be doing transplanting right now, or any pruning or anything.
You know, you can do some summer pruning, and be fine with that. I like to go through some of my trees, like my shade trees and flowering trees, this time of year, and you know, some of those limbs start to get heavy and hang down a little further, and I start pruning those off a little bit and do a little shaping here and there, and that's fine. As far as digging something up out of the ground and moving it and putting it in another location, not a great time for that, and avoid that if you can, because cutting those roots when you dig it really reduces that plant's ability to sustain the amount of top growth that's there.
Okay. So. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but still plenty of time for you to get a call in and get your name in the hat for this beautiful yarrow. And this thing is gorgeous. It's kind of a lavender wine color. It's just gorgeous. And this will bloom all summer.
Yes.
And then what happens to it?
Well, in the wintertime, it'll die down. Just be a little bit of ferny foliage down low. And then it'll come back in the spring and be just fine.
And it's good for you. Those of you who have deer problems, here's one that you're going to have some color with no deer problems.
Great in a container as well.
Okay. All right. 541-776-5368 is the local number. And for those of you outside the immediate area, toll free 800-373-5368. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back with him, Tim Elbert.
Who am I?
Yeah, the Timinator. He's in the house, and he heads up the Four Seasons Nursery and answering all your gardening questions, and your name goes in a hat for this beautiful yarrow. And by the way, the Four Seasons Nursery, they're open from 9 to 5.
Yes.
Monday through Monday.
Yes.
Okay, got it. One of those few moments I got it right. Beautiful. And if you're looking for some things in your yard, these guys, they just got it. All right, let's go to the phones and see here. A lot of people want to talk to you today, Tim. Hi, Marie. What's up?
Well, I just planted a new lawn and by seed, and it's been up now for about, 3 weeks, maybe 4. Mm-hmm. And I also have weeds coming up in it. What do I do?
Well, at this point, you want to make sure that you have a couple of really good mowings on there so that your lawn is fairly thick. And then you can begin to use a lawn weed killer at any time after that. Okay. My suggestion is one called Weed Free Zone. Okay. You can use that. I like to add a little bit of what's called spreader sticker. It kind of breaks down that surface tension of the leaf and allows that chemical to soak into the leaves of those weeds a little easier. Putting that in your tank and spraying that on your weeds should give you really good control of those weeds. Should take a couple of weeks. I would suggest waiting for the temperatures to drop back into the 90s for that, and before you do that kind of spraying. But other than that, you're fine.
All right. Now, what was that second item to use?
Spreader sticker.
Spreader sticker. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just describes what it does.
All right. Thank you so much, Tim.
You're welcome.
All right,
enjoy the rain.
All right. Well, we will. Yeah. Thanks, Marie. All right. 776-5368. Hey, Ron.
Yes.
What are you doing with your snowball bush?
Well, it bloomed really good this year, but now it's got limbs that goes everywhere, and I don't know when to trim it or how to trim it.
It's melting, right?
Well, now it's just green.
Okay, now is the time for pruning on that. Any of those really early spring bloomers, you want to get that pruning done in the summertime, usually June, July. So it's great timing for that. Go through, prune it back as far as you want, and it'll be just fine. Should recover well enough to produce flowers for you next spring.
Okay, so those long limbs that hang down and all that, I can just cut them back to wherever I want to then.
There you go. Yep.
All right. Hey, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
Onions. Does it help to plant them in a row?
They could care less.
Oh, because mine are planted flat, and I water them, but they don't get big.
Well, you got them pretty close together?
Not really.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are you singing to them?
Maybe it's not good if I do.
Give them a good loose soil and plant them. I put my onions in about 2 inches apart, and then once they get up to a certain size, I harvest every other one of them.
Yeah.
And that seems to work pretty good. But are you going from starts, or are you going from seed, or?
I'm going from the bulb, I guess you call it.
Okay, from the sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you, I haven't had the greatest success with sets either. So with sets, I don't get really very big onions. I get kind of medium sized.
They're medium to real flat.
Yeah. That might just be the sets that you're getting.
Okay.
So, yeah, try the starts. Usually we'll get in like Walla Wallas and candy onions in starts, in February.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the best time to do those right then.
Oh, okay. So, very good.
Okay.
Thanks,
all right,
Ron.
Thanks.
All right, see you later. All right, 776-5368. If you want to get your question in and your name in the hat for this beautiful yarrow, give us a buzz. Tim Elbert. Hi, Janet. Janet?
Yes, hello.
What's going on with your pumpkins?
Okay, I've got pumpkins planted next to the house, and they're all getting big. The plant's getting really big, and I have tons of blossoms, but no pumpkins yet. And I'm just curious, but I've not planted them for a long time.
And no pumpkins. Well, it could be just a little bit early yet, maybe. Okay. So give them a little bit more time. But check your flowers. Make sure you're getting both male and female flowers. The male flowers will have anthers that produce pollen. The female flowers will have the pistil that has the little sticky stuff on the end that collects the pollen. So make sure you're getting both flowers. And if you are getting both flowers and you're not getting any fruit, you may have to go out there and pretend like you're a bee and do a little pollinating. Take a little Q-tip or cotton ball and go through the male flower and then go over to the female flower and talk to your parents. They might be able to give you a little more information on that.
Okay, one more question. My raspberries I'm not sure if it's sun scald or if it's something eating on them, but the bush is about 3 feet high and about 3 feet wide. I'm not getting a whole lot of berries, just the first year. So I've cut back the dead parts because there was like brown like in the middle of the leaves. Sometimes there would be brown on the bottom part of the leaves or the branch, and then it would be green at the top. And so I was just wondering, I'm trying to start watering, and sometimes it gets watered overhead, but I was trying to do more from the bottom. I was just wondering what you thought about that.
Well, what kind of raspberry is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't keep that information, unfortunately.
Alrighty. And this is your first year with them?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the first year you're not going to get a lot of berries because it takes the second year canes for them to really produce any kind of fruit. So don't expect much this year. You may get some in the fall. Now, typically raspberries, most of the raspberry varieties out there are going to bloom and produce in late spring, early summer, like June, and then again in about September. So depending on your variety, you may get a heavier spring crop or a heavier fall crop. But yeah, I don't think you should expect a lot right now.
So what about the browning? Do you think that's just
It could be, sun? It very easily could just be some sunburn. Nothing to worry about. It's just cosmetic. It should send up some nice new growth.
And so tell me again about these male and female flowers. Do the flower itself look different, or just the inside obviously looks different?
Just the inside looks different.
Because they all look the same.
On the outside, yes.
On the inside, they all look the same.
Oh, on yours, they all look the same on the inside?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are either getting male or female flowers. And so you just have to wait and give it time. It'll start to produce the other gender soon, and then you'll start getting good pollination.
All righty, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, little birds and bees here today.
Yes, yes.
And the flowers and the trees. Okay, talk to your parents before you call this show. All right, let's go. Hi, Virginia. Wait a minute, see if I can get Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
Hi. I'm just wondering, is it too late to plant Swiss chard?
Yes, really, I think it is. And now let me rephrase that. It's too late and too early both. It's on the late side for a crop right now, but you can plant that again in the fall and have Swiss chard through fall, winter, and early spring, and continue to get good production off of it all during that time.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. All right, 776-5368 is the local phone number, 541-776-5368, or toll free, 800-373-5368. And when you call in, talk to Tim. Your name's going in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful yarrow. And this will go all summer long and be quite enjoyable with a lot of color. What are some other color you have in the nursery?
Well, you know, the cone flowers are starting to bloom right now too, and it was a real toss-up. Do I bring one of the echinaceas, the cone flowers in, or do I bring in a yarrow? And with the heat, we just chose the yarrow. Yeah. But the cone flowers, which love the heat as well, are blooming right now, and they are spectacular. We have a variety in called Cheyenne Spirit, and it is multicolored. They come out yellow or red or purple or white, and it's just incredible, just this mixture of colors. It is just stunning. And there's one right now, I got my eyeball on it. It is mustard yellow, and it is just incredible. And I'm just looking at it going, I might have to take that one home. But anyways, just a stunning plant. We've got some sneezeweed in. You know, and sneezeweed, everybody knows what sneezeweed is, right?
Well, don't they sell that in a shop over here?
No.
I don't know what it is.
This one has pretty flowers.
Oh. I don't know what it is.
Anyways, no, it's a great little plant that looks kind of like a cone flower, but also a little bit like a black-eyed Susan. And they have kind of smallish flowers, so they're probably 2-inch diameter flowers. And they come in beautiful shades of yellow, orange, and kind of a maroonish color. And they're just a stunning plant. They bloom really well, and we've got some really nice ones that came in. So,
well, check it out. Four Seasons Nursery. Just go out Highway 62 and jump off on Vilas Road. Go up about a half a mile. You can't miss it. All the pretty, and they got his own hanging baskets out there. They're just gorgeous. All right, we got plenty of time left for you to get a call in. The phone number again, 541-776-5368, or toll free 800-373-5368. And who knows? Get your name in the hat. You could win this beautiful yarrow, and it'll look pretty in your yard or in a pot, wherever you want to grow it. It is gorgeous. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Hi, we're back. Well, Tim's back. I'm here. He's over there. Anyway, Tim is with the Four Seasons Nursery, Tim Elbert, and he's here to take any calls that you may have about gardening and what's going on in your yard or your neighbor's yard or something you'd like to have happen in your yard. Great opportunity for you to give him a call and get your question answered. And then your name goes in the hat, and today somebody's going to win this beautiful yarrow. And is there varieties of these?
Yes, there are. Yes, there are several different kinds out there.
I think the one we had, it kind of goes in the lawn. What's that one?
That's the little native weed one.
That's what you get when you don't spend any money.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there are some native ones that are tend to be a bit weedy and come up all over the place, yeah. But they're not unpleasant. Yeah. So, but these are definitely more cultivated varieties and are made more for your viewing pleasure.
Okay. Well, somebody's going to win that. You can give us a call. 776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Hi, Jan. Thanks for waiting. What's on your mind today?
Yes, I've got a couple of questions that just came up. The medicinal uses of yarrow. I know it's very medicinal herb, and also what plants can be planted now this time of year, like deep chard, carrots, onions, Chinese cabbage, brassicas, lettuce, cilantro, spinach. Can that all be planted now?
If you're starting from seed, absolutely. You can get that going from seed now. And it's from starts, it's still a little on the early side, in my opinion. You know, it would start more in August. And the reason for that is because the amount of heat that we have left. And if those plants get too much heat, then they will bolt and go to seed, and you don't get what you're looking for as far as that really nice foliage, like from the spinach and the lettuce, etc. So, in my humble opinion, I would wait until August or so. But for the cole crops, so some of the slower things, you definitely, or if you're going from seed, you can get those started now.
Even broccoli, Rob, because I was told that was too sensitive to plant that.
Yeah, you could. Again, the broccoli rabe would be another one that I would stick in there with lettuce and chard and that kind of a thing, and say, yeah, it's a little on the early side. But if you're starting from seed, you could probably get away with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good enough. All right, thank you.
All right. You bet. All right, 776-5368 or toll free 800-373-5368. Tim's in the house taking your questions. Hi, Eileen.
Hi. I wanted to ask him what's happening with my lawn. Some areas are beautiful green. I'm watering regularly, and then suddenly these big brown spots appear, and the grass looks like it's dead, and somebody said it's lawn moths.
Are the spots regular in shape? Are they more rounded, or are they irregular?
More rounded, yeah. Just an area looks like.
Okay, and did the spots continue to get larger, or do they just stay the same size and shape?
No, they're getting larger and coming up in different areas.
Okay. Typically, that's not lawn moths. Lawn moths will be give you a more irregular shape. And so usually when you have a spot and it's getting larger and larger, that's generally fungal related. Now, are you watering in the evening?
Oh, mostly in the morning.
Okay, so just you're not doing any evening watering at all?
Hardly, no. No, I don't water at night. I'm 84 and I'm in the house at night.
Okay, because generally this time of year getting fungus is usually caused by the lawns going into nighttime with too much water.
I see.
So you might check on that and make sure that everything's working well and your sprinklers aren't coming on at night. And then
I hate to tell you this, I don't have any sprinklers. I do hand watering with a hose with a sprinkler attached to the end.
Okay. So you know, it's hard to know for sure what that is, but it generally, if it's going in a more regular pattern, it's usually more fungus related than insect related. So if I had to say to do anything, I would say put a fungicide down and see if that works.
Okay.
All right.
One neighbor said all you can do is dig it up and get new sod.
Well, you know, without seeing it, I would say I would hate to say go and do that.
So,
a lot of times it'll recover. So you know, don't dig up your lawn yet. If anything, dig up a chunk and bring me a sample. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, and then we can tell for sure.
Well, thank you so much.
All righty.
Thanks, Eileen. Bye-bye. All right, 776-5368. A few moments left. If you have any questions for Tim about your yard and plants and vegetables and lawns and trees and all that stuff, and get your name in the hat for this yarrow. Anything in the vegetable garden, or we should be just growing and getting ready to eat corn?
Well, you know, what we've seen happening lately is a lot of blossom end rot on tomatoes and peppers, and so I'm seeing that a lot. Now, that's caused by a calcium deficiency. So if you look at the underside of your tomatoes, and you know, you're just getting ready to harvest tomatoes, and you go out there, you see a red one, woohoo, and you go to pick it, and the whole bottom is rotted. That is blossom end rot, and so you need to spray the plant with a soluble form of calcium. We've got one called Yield Booster. Works really good. You spray that on the plant, and that will help. So the new ones that come on after that should come on without that blossom end rot. The other thing to do is add some bone meal or some lime into the soil to increase the calcium down into the soil, and your plant should do a little better.
All right.
So, yep, watch for that.
All right, let's check in with Leslie. Hi, Leslie.
Hello.
What's up?
Oh, well, I was calling to see about the proper way to grow corn on the cob to make sure that it grows tall enough and produces nice ears.
Okay. Well,
the ideal corn plant here.
No, the ideal corn plant would be growing corn off the cob. But I don't know how you would grow corn off the cob. Yeah. But corn on the cob. Okay. Now that's you know, that's a little easier to do. But anyways, to get that corn up and going good, you need a high nitrogen fertilizer. So you want to reduce the amounts of phosphorus and potassium and increase your nitrogen. Now the easiest way to do that is with a lawn fertilizer. And use a lawn fertilizer that is just fertilizer, no weed killers or chemicals in it or anything like that, and sprinkle that around your plants, your corn, and you'll see some pretty good results from that. Keep it well watered. Corn's going to need a lot of water, and once it gets up and begins to tassel, then you switch things out a little bit. You'll reduce your watering slightly, and you should get some pretty good sized ears of corn.
What about thinning the patch?
I don't know why you would thin corn. Corn likes to be pretty close together, pretty tight.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
All
right. 776-5368 is the number, or 800-373-5368. Hi, Helen. What's going on with the peach tree?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Perry.
Yeah.
Hello, Tim.
Hi.
I have one question, two-part.
Oh, this is Helen.
Tree.
Where you been, Helen? I haven't heard your voice in a long time. Where you been? Where are you hiding out?
Same old, same old. And just staying on the coattails of Jesus.
Hey, good. Good.
Anyway, two-part question on a one question. Peach tree. When can it be planted? And can it be a combination male-female?
Okay. There is no such thing as male and female when it comes to peach trees or anything like that. Most fruit trees that require a pollinator are not necessarily male-female. They just don't accept their own pollen. Now, peach trees are self-fertile, so they would accept their own pollen, what that means is that the pollen from the flower that is produced in the flower will work on that same flower. So they're easily pollinated. So you don't need more than one tree to get fruit. As far as can you plant one now? Absolutely. If it's in a container and you want to plant it in the ground, you can. Just do not mess with the root system when you do it, and be sure the root ball is good and wet, and the soil that you're planting it into is moist or wet. Okay?
Okay, that sounds like a winner.
All righty.
Nice to hear your voice, Ellen.
You too. Jesus loves you, Mr. Perry.
Okay, see you later, sweetheart. Okay. Hi, Dustin. You there?
Hello?
Yeah,
I'm
you're on, Dustin. Go on. What's up?
Yeah, I was just, I had a question. I was wondering if too much water could cause a blossom end rot.
Not necessarily, no. Now, blossom end rot can be brought on or made worse with improper watering, but it's not necessarily caused by improper watering. It is more caused by a calcium deficiency.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. What do you do for dog spots in the lawn? What is it you put? Is it lime?
Yeah, a little lime sometimes, on there, and it usually takes care of it. So,
okay.
Yeah. Usually, just flushing it with a little extra water can sometimes be good enough. I've got 3 dogs, and they, of course, make my lawn that's not all that great right now look even worse. But you just have to understand it's a dog lawn, and deal with it. And usually those spots will come back anyways. Now in my situation, because I'm very negligent to my lawn, usually where the dog goes, it's greener and faster growing. So if you're having that kind of a problem, you're like me. You don't fertilize your lawn enough.
Oh, I see.
So anyways,
here you are, the nurseryman.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like the cobblers. You kids have no shoes.
Yeah, the shoemaker kids has no shoes.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyway, Four Seasons Nursery is open from 9 to 5 every day, and got everything you need to know and have equipped with have a beautiful lawn and yard. All right, we're going to reach in and let's see who the winner is of this beautiful yarrow plant. And today it is
Ron. Ron, as soon as he gets done trimming that snowball bush, he can come in and get a yarrow plant.
There you go, Ron. You just you really scored today, Ron. Okay, well, listen, deep watering trees, is that an issue?
It's a good thing to do. Yes.
Depends on the variety, though, isn't it?
Any tree will benefit from a good deep watering. But what deep watering means is getting that water slowly trickling on there so that it penetrates all the way down, and then shutting that water off and leaving it for a long period of time. So deep watering would be take the hose, let it trickle overnight against the trunk of the tree, and then taking it off and leaving it off for a week. And that's how you deep water. You really want that water really go down and continue to move down.
All right, because I know I planted some trees a couple of years ago, and I ended up putting a pipe down there because we have some very hard soil, as you know, and that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. If you had the foresight to do that, then deep watering your trees is way easier.
Well, there was this guy out at Four Seasons told me what to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think. Roses, they're blooming. Cut off the overgrowth, I guess. Huh?
Yep. If you're like my roses, they need to be cut back now. So go through and trim off all the dead roses and clean those up and feed them again. And they should come along and do great.
But otherwise, no spraying of the roses or anything now.
Nothing that you should have to do unless you have a problem, yeah. And if you've got aphids, try the ladybugs. They work great.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You got them out there?
Yes, we do. You get 1,500 ladybugs in a package for $7.99. And that's what the kids do at night is they sit down there and count ladybugs and bag them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I think that would be a great job.
Stick around. We'll get you a counseling guy. I think Patrick Doyle's coming in next week. We'll get you some couch time. All right, have a great weekend. Be safe. Watch out for these traveling thunderstorms through our area. And don't forget, Four Seasons Nursery open every day from 9 to 5 out there on Crater Lake Highway. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.